I'm here at the Death Canyon Trailhead with my trusty hardtail bike. Death Canyon Trailhead's right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bike with my new tires hooked up by Don at Hoback Sports. Thank you, Don, subscriber, you are awesome. I'm going to lock my bike somewhere in the woods here so it's not a distraction, make sure I'm not damaging the trees at all. And then I'm going to drive all the way to the Lupine Meadows trailheads and then hike along the Valley Trail all the way along to here, and then get my bike, trusty old steed, and then ride back on the Moose Wilson Trail to the Park Road, to the Park Path, all the way back to Lupine Meadows Trailhead. That way I can self-shuttle. I don't have to use two cars and all this craziness because I've got a bike. It's not expensive. So that's what I'm going to take you to. Do is on this tour of the Valley Canyon Trail. It's a spectacular hike. Sweet. And the bike is locked up in the trees, out of the way here. And I prepared for my hike. Whoa, knocking my glasses off. I always lock my bike up and I use both locks here. That way if I need to double rope it or whatever I need to do, it's a great system. A little bit of adventure, but being able to be self-contained and do this, it's a great way to go. As you can see, the road's a bit rough. And my vehicle's a bit dirty, but soon I will be at the Lupine Meadows trailheads. Going across this spectacular creek here. Oh yeah. Having a good time in this little mini adventure. And I gotta figure out how many miles I'm gonna ride my bike. It's 17,202. I'll see how far I get to ride my bike back. I'm at the Lupine Meadows Trailhead. The parking lot is always full here in the summer. I'm going to hike the Valley Trail. It goes along the base of the Tetons. Here's T1 out behind me. You can't even see the Grand because, well, it's hidden. The official Valley Trail starts way, way back there, comes through here, but I'm going to take you on the section that goes from Lupine Meadows over to Death Canyon Trailhead. It's a good long hike. It's featured in my book, The Jackson Hole Hiking Guide. And you can see the map here. It's a really good long trail. The big challenge, as I showed you, is that it requires a shuttle. This is not an out and back trail unless you really want to do this out and back. Instead, I lock my bike at Death Canyon Trailhead, just like I recommend in my Jackson Hole Hiking Guide, and I'm going to hike there, grab my bike, and ride the 12 miles back. It's going to be pretty good adventure since it's already in the early afternoon, and I need to get going. So let's come along and do the Valley Trail in Grand Teton National Park. Coming into the Lupine Meadows Trailhead sign here. There's some information, route map. I'm going to start here, go all the way along, and a long ways way over here. The nice part about this first part of the trail is it's super flat and lulls you into a sense of security. Starting this hike good and late, 2 o'clock. This is going to be awesome. That is one thing about hiking Grand Teton is the bear spray. Psh. Yeah, be prepared with your bear spray for grizzlies. That's one thing on the Lupine Meadows Trailhead. Hiking the first section to the junction is definitely not going to hike alone. Lots and lots of people are passing me, but virtually nobody's going this way because nobody goes this late in the afternoon. After a half hour of a decent pace, we break some sweat, come along to the first ridge here, leads up this way, splits between the side you've been looking at And now the other side. And this is the way that leads you to the first junction on the Valley Trail. And after 40 minutes of hauling pretty decently, I've reached the first junction. That's a nice junction. This is a secret junction to the Fabian Lucas cabins. But here's the first junction to the Valley Trail. All points yonder. Amphitheater Surprise, Garnet, Middle Teton, South Teton, Grand Teton, on and on. So about 41 minutes. Not bad for a guy middle-aged. So I'm gonna head on, cut to the left here, continue on the Valley Trail. Got quite a bit of time for my first 75-minute break. People pour from here, from Delta Lake and Surprise and Amphitheater, just like this one. Lots and lots of people. Yeah. And sometimes you get joggers. I covered 1.7 miles in 41 minutes, gaining over 1,000 feet of elevation. It's pretty good. And then you can see, if you want to continue on and gain a lot of elevation to over 9,000 feet, that is the way to go. And the trail just slowly gets steeper and steeper. But the nice thing of the Valley Trail is it actually starts losing elevation. Now we're talking. Oh yeah, sweaty, but good. On to the next junction, a ways away. Yeah. The best part of the Valley Trails is way less busy and not so intense as going up Garnet. Garnet's pretty much a freeway of people heading out right now. So if you want a little bit of solitude after that, Valley Trail, that's the one you want. Ancient avalanche field. And not too long, 55 minutes. I got my first views of Bradley Lake. One of the most beautiful lakes in all of Grand Teton. And there are great views of South Teton, which is a great little climb. And then Middle Teton, tougher climb, and you can see the volcanic dike right in the middle of it, very similar to Mount Moran. These two peaks you can actually do in a day. Hike up to the meadows and then head on to Middle Teton, drop down to the saddle and go over to South Teton and out. It's a tough one, but it is doable. I do have a video on that, climbing and hiking Middle Teton and South Teton. It's a sweet day. Definitely want to leave early for that one. And that is totally visible on the Valley Trail. Seasonal berries, very nice. Good for the bears. That's the best part about this trail. It's not so crazy. Cool thing is about Bradley Lake, there are campsites here that are accessible with chipmunks to boot. One of the best parts is the bridge reveal. Super cool. Oh yeah. This is a nice bridge across the quiet part of Bradley Lake with horse rails, and there's some people around here. And sometimes part of the year, when the lake level's much higher, there's the option to do the old log crossing. Of course, I don't need to do it now, but I gotta add some interest to the video. Bradley Lake. Best part is there's some great rocks, some great views for lunch. After an hour 15 of hauling from Lupine Meadows trailheads, I reached Bradley Lake. Oh yeah, I've got my seat. So I'm not just sitting on the rock. This thing is worth a couple ounces and the buku bucks it's charged. I'm gonna enjoy my lunch here, all while enjoying Grand Teton, Middle Teton, and South Teton as backgrounds for my lunch. It doesn't take too long to get to the Taggart Lake, Taggart Trailhead parking lot area. Lots of choices to go see the lake, continue on, or ditch. In about 15 minutes, you can get your first views of Taggart Lake. Much more visited and certainly more beautiful. Maybe, maybe not. Both Taggart and Bradley are beautiful. That was funny. I just ran into a couple. They were debating, looking on their phone. Oh, where should we go? Should we keep going farther? The wife said, well, you dragged me through a boulder field. And he's like, oh, not far. And I said, in 25 minutes, you will have Bradley Lake, which has the best lake reflection of South, Middle, and Grand Teton. So if you've got the wherewithal and the time to make it to Bradley, believe me, way less traffic than Taggart, and the reflection and the solitude, whoo yeah. And after half an hour, Taggart Lake is revealed. Bum, bum, bum. Beautiful. It does not, however, reflect South, Grand, in the middle nearly as well as Bradley, but it's still worth a stop. That's actually bushwhackable. Kind of tough, but boy, oh boy. In a mere half hour, Taggart Lake, all on the Valley Trail. I mean, talk about spectacular backcountry lake views of the most spectacular mountain range in the United States. Yeah, it doesn't hurt. I mean, Taggart Lake is much more popular than Bradley because Bradley is another half hour. But Bradley is worth it. Not that Taggart's not good, but Bradley is definitely worth it. But don't miss Taggart for this view. In 45 minutes, I reached the junction. That is the easy trail to the Taggart Lake trailhead. If you want something pretty direct, that's the way to go. If you go south, it's a little bit longer. This one is faster and easier. In the fall, this is a great place to come to see little patches of aspen and the otherwise deep green of the conifers. Looks like somebody planted a Christmas tree here. All right, I made the junction. White Gas Trailhead, which is also Death Canyon. Valley Trail, 3.3 miles that way. The Taggart Lake Trail parking area this way. The sign, 3.3 more miles. Not too bad. I've been at this for 2.5 hours. Somebody scratched in the Valley Trail, not me. Just something people don't know where it is or what's going on. And White Grass Trailhead's kind of weird. It should be Death Canyon Trailhead, but whatever. It's just how the park made the signs out. So I'm going to continue on in this super forested section for quite a ways. Wyoming State Flower, Indian Paintbrush. Pausing on my next shift, going to eat some food. Yum yum. This is not sponsored by Kind, I just like their bars. The Valley Trail past the junction at Taggart Lake, it's real quiet. This is a long stretch, 3.3 miles to the Death Canyon Trailhead, where there aren't a lot of people. So if you want to get away and have a nice hike in Grand Teton that's quite long without the crazy uphills of granite and garnet and all the other trails, the Valley Trail is a winner. Some fungus on a log. The section of the trail south of the Taggart Lake Junction, well, it's deep forest, but it's also low impact and pretty easy traveling. So if you want to get away from it all, this is a good section. This is the bears' reminder that they are here, way high. This is as high as I can reach, about 7'8". Oh yeah. One bear did that to let me know he or she lives here somewhere. Oh yeah, well, bear markings on a tree. That's always fun. That's why I sing, "Ma, oh, yeah, oh." And I pretty much just sing my flat tone voice because I don't want to run into an angry bear. So I talk a lot to myself. Now, being a soloist, not hardcore, I love doing stuff, but it is always a consideration. Arr. Along the way, a couple of nice open meadows with tall grass. Oh, this makes this more interesting. Started raining. Bummer. Oh well. I was kind of hoping it wouldn't rain, but cool me down. Hopefully it doesn't rain too hard. Still 1.5 miles out. I still have a 12-mile bike ride. About 1.3 miles north of Death Canyon are a couple old cabins. One's pretty abandoned. Just a couple hundred yards north of the Death Canyon Trailhead is a very nice creek. Just about done. Enjoying the creek right there. Super good walk. I'm very close to the trailhead. Thank goodness, it's almost 6 o'clock. I still have 13 miles to ride on my mountain bike in the rain. Yay, finally made it. Big old junction. Of course, it doesn't tell me how far I went, of course. There's Valley Trail. That's Canyon parking, which is where I'm headed. 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Just need to drop out the next 200 yards. And I've completed my segment from Lupine Meadows trailheads to Death Canyon Trailhead. What a walk. Oh yeah. How many miles is it? Right here. This is how many miles I hiked. This is elevation gain and loss. Right here, this is a sweet one. Let me finish this up. Sweet! 4 hours from Lupine Meadows Trailhead to Death Canyon Trailhead. I still have 13 miles to ride. Hopefully my book, Jackson Hole Hiking Guide, tells you about this trail, but my bike is in the trees. I need to get it and get on the road because it's eventually going to get dark. The best part is almost everyone has headed back to Jackson. Nice empty parking lot and much quieter. Best part is my bike is still here. All right, on the bike. Of course, I left my helmet and my gloves, so I'm gonna get punished. Got my hat though, what could go wrong? The best part is, this is all downhill. Whoa, crud, whoa! It was really hard to do one-handed. I'm probably gonna die here. But man, this downhill ride, woo, yeah, baby. Love it. Love, love, love it. Love this. Oh, that was a sweet mixed thing. Bike plus hiking. I still have about 11 miles to go. I know I keep telling you that, but it's getting late. It's raining. I've heard a little bit of thunder. But at least I got new tires from Hoback Sports. Thank you, Don. Super sweet hookup. I'm looking forward to this ride, that ride down there. The dirt, super fast. I could go faster in the car and then down the asphalt. Oh my gosh, I need to do more of this. I love this. The coolest part is I can actually stop along the roadway when the cars can't at the beaver ponds. That's a huge advantage of a bike. You can do almost whatever I want. But it looks like there's an animal jam ahead. Stay tuned. Oh, apparently there's a little black bear in there somewhere. As you can see the traffic here. Oh boy. Somewhere. I got to enjoy a little baby black bear. Super hard to see with the phone. And it looks like there's a moose down there somewhere. Kind of fun. Where everybody's parked at the moose parking. I just forget how nice it is to ride in Grand Teton National Park with that view. It's faster than walking, but I'm still outside. Ride, baby, ride. Love this! And all the folks in San Diego. Rain. Oh, at least the rain stopped. View of the Tetons. Endlessly awesome. The tilty, pointy one that looks like a witch's hat. That's Grand Teton. The one that my hat is touching is Tiwanaut. And then south and middle behind that. Oh. What a ride. Always takes longer than I think it does. The funny thing is, my feet are more sore from the ride than from the hike. Kind of weird. Getting there. Nice. One of the many wildlife tours in Jackson Hole. Looks like they're checking out an elk way over yonder, next to that lady on the left. Yay! Finally made the turn off to Lupine Meadows. Whew! 7:30. Started at 2 o'clock. Alright, just another mile and some change on a dirt wet road. Yeah! Crossing good old Cottonwood Creek. Ooh, a little rumbly. Sweet, made it back just under 6 hours from Lupine Meadows trailheads all the way to Death Canyon, and then rode my bike back in the rain. Loved it. This trail is featured in my Jackson Hole hiking guide on page 126, trail number 42. Highly recommended with T1 out behind me. It's a great hike. It's good and long, and it's way better if you bike with a shuttle rather than 2 cars, because riding back through the park is just spectacular. My name is Aaron Lindsay. I'm a polar explorer and professional adventurer. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the video and our channel, and the link to this book is below. Thank you for watching.